Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with the three amigos. How you doing, Matt?
I'm doing super excited to be here. It's Tuesday.
There you go. And Dion, how are you?
Howdy, I'm doing great. I actually really like this video format where we don't script, we don't plan. We literally go, this is what an investor keeps in top of mind awareness.
Yeah. Well, to that, you actually have the topic of this video, so I will let you share because you have a personal story around this, and I think it's important.
So always be careful if you're a content creator, if you ever use words like Bitcoin or crypto, even in the video or in the title or in the description, because you're going to get a million bots who have 50 followers who make their comments down below. But I think whenever an asset class is turbulent, people move. During the dot-com crash, I wonder if there's any investors who took $7,000, turned it into almost $200,000, lost it all the way down to $40,000 and thought, I better get the hell out of this and into real estate. And so after the dot-com crash, what happens for the next 5 years? Real estate prices go up. So for the last 10, 15, wasn't keeping track, years, crypto's been a thing. And there has been several iterations of, but this thing is different. Bitcoin is capped by a certain number of coins, and no one knows who made it. And whatever excuse they use to say, this is different. This platform is different because all they're doing is trading. This stable coin is different because there's only so many coins versus so many dollars. And whatever version they've used of creating confidence in the asset so that people will invest, which pops up the price of the asset, which I totally understand. And it will be a thing where crypto is used in the future more than it is now. NFTs will be a thing where we change how transactions are done. I think, deeds, titles, things like that will have an NFT associated with it. I don't think you want to buy a picture of a monkey for $400,000 that, then drops to 60, which should be worth 6. And in the last few months, we've seen stable coins crash. We've seen, and I'm not even going to name the companies that went out of business, where some people's wallets just disappeared. And then you have the FTX thing, and then the
Celsius thing, and then
law enforcement was going to say fruit of the poisonous tree. Anything that came from that, everything else is tainted too. So that is a multi-billion, if not in the trillions, industry that a lot of people have lost faith in.
Yeah.
And the stock market is down, where there was you guys were doing a video the other day where how many millennials expect the stock market to go down or crash, and there was a majority of them that up or down or whatever the thought is, but stocks are uncertain.
Yep.
Real estate, luckily, there's a whole bunch of YouTube channels that get 100,000 views on crash videos, so we don't have all of the competition yet that's driving prices up as much as it could happen. But where's all that money going to go? That if they didn't just lose it because FTX just vanished it, how's that going to impact real estate?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of things here, and I put this theory out 6 or 9 months ago. I think it was when Celsius first. Yeah, there's this CEO. I hate banks, and like he steals all this money or whatever. But so I again, I was that guy you kind of referenced who did the work, hours and hours, turned 7 grand into something, turn that something into bigger. And I freely admitted the last 100 grand I made was gambling. I got lucky in a market. I didn't realize the market made me. Then when the market turned, I tried to make it up by going on margin and options, and because again, I didn't appreciate that the market made me and now the market take it away, right? Don't bet against the Fed. Ultimately, I remember being in Europe. I think I was in France, where I finally gave up and just exited the market, took my losses, right? Which is, I lost 80% of my stack. And I didn't buy a stock for 15 years. I didn't look. And again, I'm in the Silicon Valley. I had stock options and RSUs. I would sell them the minute they were there. I just never wanted anything to do with it. There are going to be tens of thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of people who have been burned by crypto that will not go back for at least a decade, if ever. Right? I read an article I meant to talk about in the Daily Financial News today about a 26-year-old, right? Gen Z, who lost 14 grand in FTX. 14 grand to you, the three of us, is
It's still
we don't
14
miss it.
grand.
It's still 14 grand, but to this guy it was everything. And
Yeah.
he's like, I will never do crypto again. I will do index funds. I think there's a lot of that going to be going on, and it's unfortunate, right? What happened the last 2 years was gambling and fraud and Ponzi schemes. It feels great in the moment, but the market made you. And now, unfortunately, there are lots of people who didn't realize that are still getting hurt. And to your answer, I fully expect real estate, because it's physical, it's inefficient, it's slower, right? It's like you don't appreciate the value of real estate transaction being slow and an appraisal and inspections and a bank until you get your FTX money vanished, because there's a crook in the Bahamas or wherever the hell he is. So yeah, I think you're right. I think real estate will be a beneficiary because crypto winner, crypto nuclear winner. It's there will always, like, there will be commenters saying you old, boomers don't get it. I don't care. There's always going to be a maximalist out there. You lost 80% of the rest of us. The true believers are going to go down with the ship. I don't care. But yeah, there's a lot of people that will never go back. So it's crazy.
So here's the example. Yesterday, I was out at the American Lake VA system having a wonderful experience with our VA system. And I ran into a friend. Actually, I told him what was going on, because if there's any veterans watching, make sure you get registered for the PACT Act. In August last year, they said if you were in Desert Storm, Vietnam, or post 9/11, they've admitted, hey, there were some toxic chemicals and we're going to try to provide you some medical care. So I was there for that. Sorry about the segue. But I ran into my friend, and this guy, whenever I talk to this guy, I've interacted with him 3 or 4 times. I feel like I'm having a Mensa exam, because that's how smart this guy is. He was an officer in the military. He got out when we met. He came to the Tacoma FI meetup group. He lives here locally. And I don't want to name him or anything, but when we met, he was crypto man.
Mm.
And it wasn't buy it, hold it because it's going to grow and be worth more money in the future. It was, he understood as much about crypto as I think we know about real estate combined, right?
Yeah.
And he knew how the platforms work, how the trading worked, how to get a return by putting it on a certain platform. And for the first few months, this group wasn't a real estate group. It was Tacoma FI. So there's business, stocks, real estate, crypto, whatever format you can to make work optional, you can be in the group, right? Well, before the big last couple of months with everything going to the side, he interacted with the group. He found your guys' channels. He watches all 3 of us. A lot of our conversations have been about our strategies. He started house hacking a duplex. And I'm not saying that if your asset class doesn't work, you should pivot. Like he educated himself and was the guy that I would have went to if I had any questions. But he found out what works, what's been working for thousands of years. Own real estate, have someone pay more than it costs you to own it. And he'll probably at some point still go like you did, 15 years later, you get a millionaire that comes on that is a stock guy to give you information on how to get into the market now. At some point, I guarantee he'll probably have some crypto stuff in the future. But this last year's been so bad that somebody who had taken the time to learn so much about it that I think they knew as much about crypto as we knew about real estate, still thought, because of the uncertainty. So the average person who didn't do all that work, didn't educate themselves, and just thought it's the way to make millions, is definitely going to pivot. That's why I think it's going to be a huge shift. And in the next, I mean, we can see interest rates kind of mess with the market, but the stability of the asset over the next few decades, I think is going to continue to be strong.
It's going to drive people bananas when there's no crash.
Yeah, and the other thing too is when we're looking at the crypto market, the fact of the matter is there's still over 1,000 coins. So just reach your hand.
There won't be 1,000 in about a year.
Of course. It's like car companies in the early 1900s.
Yeah.
There were tons of them. And now it's kind of, there's like, a dozen or two. And most of them are owned by the same few brands. So what I would tell you is that you spend all this time looking at crypto, you spend all this time learning the market, and you still got God. The best news is this: you can actually learn how to invest in real estate, one rental at a time, and buy the course, understand it. It's a few $100, and then you actually learn how these assets work, how to find the right asset, how to capitalize on that asset. And then you're at the closing table, you walk away and you go, oh shit, I'm a landlord. Now what? And then you check out the Lumberjack Landlords course and we walk you through how to do daily management of all those horrible things. If you've decided that you hate yourself and you want to be a self-managing landlord, you get the opportunity to do that. But it all starts with understanding the market. And that's what One Rental at a Time does. That's what the course does. It helps you understand exactly what the market is, so you know what the entry point needs to look like. And everybody
would
that
be
talks
3
about
courses,
crypto,
but-
and everybody that talks about crypto knows what I mean by entry point. That's what it's all about.
Yeah. So guys, do me a favor. Where can people find you, Dion, first?
Right here on YouTube, Dion Talk Financial Freedom, where I don't have a course because I'm on brand with being lazy.
There you go. And Matt, you got to go. Where can people find you?
Lumberjack Landlord on YouTube and Instagram, and you'll find all the details on the course there in the aforementioned name. I won't curse again, but it's there. You can find it, and we'll happy to chat about it on my live stream Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time.
Have fun at work, Matt.
Fun at work, Matt. Bye, Matt. Dion, you can
Bye,
hang out.
guys.
Bye.